Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. We welcome you all to the OptiStellar session, the December edition of Optis. I am one of your co-presenter today. My name is Shatanshu, and I have over 10 years of experience in digital marketing. I'm going to be auto apply expert today, so I'll take you through the auto apply recommendation segment, which comes later in the session today. But before I go and start my session, you have Pavitra, my lovely co-presenter, on the call as well. Pavitra, over to you. Can you quickly introduce yourself and then take it away?
Thanks, Shadanshu. Hey, everyone. Pavitra here. I've been associated with Google for more than 2 years now. Also worked with a lot of number of global advertisers, and I'll be taking the optimization score bit today for you. And hope we have a very engaging session. Keep putting in your queries on chat, and we're here to address them. Um, so to start off with, again, a very warm welcome to OptiStellar to everyone. We have some exciting opportunities for our attendees. First we invite you to attend an upcoming session of Meet the PMs. And we invite you to attend this. This is a small bespoke session. It's designed to chat with the PMs from some of most influential products and features that we have. This is truly a rare opportunity, and we hope that you take advantage. Next, we'll also invite you to join our community of product experts. This is a vibrant community of super users who play a very critical role in Google's ecosystem. Lastly, and what some of you are most excited about, Google Swag. Engage with us through this live stream over the next hour. Ask questions, give product feedback. Prizes will go to the folks who both engage during the session and fill out the feedback form. The feedback form is linked here via the QR code. The form is very important. Please use this QR code or the link in the chat to fill out the form and fill it with the valid CID and email address in order to qualify for anything that you see here. Very important again, the two things, the CID and your email address. Just giving it a second. All right, let's dive into the agenda, right? So today we will briefly explain what OptiScore is, how you can use it to improve your campaign performance, differentiate features of optimization scores, and try to answer some of the frequently asked questions from, that we have from various agencies and advertisers. Shitanshu will then take you through the automatically applying recommendations, which is the auto apply recommendations bit, and provide a sneak peek of the different things that we have recently launched or about to launch for the optimization score. Now, let's look at the partnership here, right? In one hand, you have the marketeers who basically will set agenda to their Google Ads accounts, right? When you talk about the messaging that they put across, they understand the business very well and also dictate strategies in terms of, say, bidding, in terms of conversions, and all the other data points. On the other hand, you have the automated products that Google Ads have, right? Now, these products basically will enable the marketer with all the inputs that is there by giving real-time marketing data points, insights, and all the valuable information you need to enable the marketer to set the agenda and dictate the strategy for your Google Ads account. Now, let's see how they work together. Now, um, if you think about the different things that you do, right, as an agency, as a marketer, uh, it's on an ongoing basis. It's a lot, right? You're involved in planning and working through strategic decisions, implementing the plan in terms of building and managing campaigns at scale, optimizing these campaigns to get the best return on investment. Sometimes multiple business lines as well, right? You also have reporting, reporting performance to meet the business KPIs. You also set and also look at troubleshooting when there is any issue So, this entire process of planning, implementation, optimizing, reporting, and troubleshooting is quite time intensive. And the balance between all of this, the balancing act is quite tricky. Now, we at Google want to help you at all of these stages. And so, to help you with planning, we have launched several tools such as Performance Planner, Keyword Planner, or Reach Planner. And for implementation support, we have built Google Ads Editor that can be used to effectively manage campaigns at scale. For reporting, we provide you several metrics, ready made and custom reports to enable you to measure business KPIs effectively. We also have our help center, which you can always refer to know things to know how things work better, along with manual troubleshooting support, where a customer service agent can answer your queries. Similarly, on the optimization side, we have built the optimization score to help you understand where the biggest opportunity on your account lies in terms of improving efficiency or growth or both. Now, when we talk about human input, right, we do have the machine learning bit, the automated bit, but when human input and human supervision is provided, it gives you the best result. This is a combination that go hand in hand so well to give you the best output. Now, when you take just human input, you get about 15%, right? But with automation added to it, it goes up to 20%. Now, imagine what it can achieve, your account can achieve, when both of them are working hand in hand. So, it's very important to put in the right data points, set the right messaging across on your accounts, and make sure you touch base. Say, for example, when you want your ads to show, what kind of region, what is the age, all of these points are very important. These data points come from you as the advertiser. You understand the account best. The automation bit will work with you, taking these points, understanding them, and giving you the best output from your account. Let's understand a little more about what a typical day of an agency account manager is like, right? Um, of course, you spoke about it. Now, to deep dive, you have hygiene operations. When you're looking at keywords, you're looking at redundant keywords, you're looking at ad rotation, you're looking at bids and budgets and optimizing them throughout. Then you have advanced optimizations where you're looking at, how you test, how you run these tests, how you're looking at optimizing these accounts, and strategic initiatives of what to do next, how to get the next results out. Now, the first two, right, the hygiene operations and bids and budgets, this, the automation bit, can look after for you. That is when it leaves you time to look at advanced optimizations and strategic initiatives to build on your business and build on your account to get the best out of your Google Ads account. Now, keep in mind, this is how automation works hand in hand. When automation is applied, all the mundane tasks that you have to look into every day on a day-to-day basis is taken care through automation, giving you this time to look at advanced optimization and strategic initiatives to work and use the best on your account. Now, let's have a look at what optimization score really is, right? Optimization score is a score that is given to your campaign or your account. Now, with 100 being the highest. Now, for all accounts, optimization score is set at 100, and all available recommendations are then subtracted. So, suppose the optimization score here is about 85.6%. There is a 14% room of improvement by focusing on recommendations. The score will go up as you implement recommendations. It is recorded in live, and the system is able to understand certain areas of improvement in your campaign or account, and those areas are highlighted in form of different recommendations shown in the form of a card. Each recommendation card would also have an uplift value to it, which is shown on the top right, which means that once you apply the recommendations, your overall Opti score will improve by that percentage or that amount. Now, OptiScore is currently available for all major campaign types such as search, shopping, display, video, discovery, apps, and Performance Max. We have OptiScore and recommendations surface not only in Google Ads front end, which is the website, but also in Google Ads mobile app, Google Ads editor, APIs, and script. Now, from different studies, we have seen that advertisers who have increased their account level score by 10 points have seen a 14% increase in conversions. So this is a great takeaway for you. Make sure to understand the OptiScore and work on it diligently so that you're making the best of your account and using it to the best potential. Um, Now, here you can find an overview of the broad range of recommendations that optimization score covers, right? We have more than 90 plus recommendations that are available, but you will only see the recommendations which are relevant to your account and where we see there's an opportunity to improve. All of these recommendations are grouped into five sections, which which are across bidding and budgets, ads and extensions, keyword and targeting, repairs, and automated campaigns. If you want to only see recommendations for a particular section, you can click on the particular section at the top and understand the opportunities within that section. Now, some recommendations can be applied directly from the interface itself by clicking on the apply button. And for some recommendations, you need to do some additional work. Example of one click applicable recommendation is adding new keywords, right? We surface keywords that are relevant to your business, and once you click on apply, the keywords are implemented in your account. However, for recommendations such as setting up conversion tracking, you would need to do some additional steps in placing the tracking code on your website for conversions to flow into Google Ads. Um, Also, hence it would not be a one click recommendation, right? If you think a particular recommendation is not relevant to you, we also give you the option to dismiss a recommendation and provide feedback, which we then understand to improve the recommendation and be more relevant to you in the future. Now, this is a great feature that Google Ads has. Um, Say you are given a recommendation that you don't really want to immediately implement, right? You want to understand, or you're hesitant to go ahead and use it. Now, this is available for both a broad match as well as ROAS recommendations. On your recommendations page, you will find a one click recommendation experiment feature. Go ahead, utilize this, check how it works for you, understand what understand if what you've applied has worked for you, right? See the results, and then you'll be confident to use it onto your live accounts. This is a great feature that Google has provided now. You do not need to be in the dark in terms of not knowing what to expect when you've applied this. You have this page. Again, this is available. It's a one-click recommendation experiment feature under your experiments page, right? Go ahead, utilize this, understand how the experiment has worked before you can go and apply it onto your live account. All right, so now we have some myth busting. Um, these are very common questions or misconceptions that advertisers might have, and hopefully, we'll be able to clarify and clear them for you. The first one is, once I dismiss a recommendation, it is gone forever. Now, here, fear not, once you dismiss a recommendation, it is available under your dismissed option, right? Or you do not want to apply it right away, go ahead and dismiss it. When you're ready to apply it, go to your dismissed tab and you'll find all of the recommendations that you've dismissed. Then you can use it again and you can use it here, view recommendation that applied from this particular tab. Also keep in mind that once you've dismissed a recommendation, if the system finds it still valid, if it is still applicable to your account, if there's any sort of a recommendation that the system feels is still will help, like add site links or set up conversion tracking, that will help your account improve, it will still repopulate in a couple of weeks. Feedback is pointless when dismissing recommendations. Definitely not. Here is a huge call out to you. Feedback is extremely important. When you choose to dismiss a recommendation, you will find this drop down or pop up, sorry. Go ahead, use this particular option, click on other, use this option and give us your feedback. This will go directly to the product team. They will be able to look at it, understand what you are also expecting the recommendations to work, and function, and how you want them to function. They will understand what you are asking the system, and over time will be used towards your Google Ads account and give you more relevant recommendations based on your feedback. Over to you, Shitanshu. Um,
Thanks, Pavitra. That was a lovely introduction to optimization score. I hope we were able to clarify some of the doubts with those great section where you talk about a few of the myths about optimization score and recommendations. Anyone, if there's anything else that you're not sure about optimization score and its recommendations, you can put that in chat and we'll try to address them as soon as possible. Thanks, Pavitra. Okay, now before we get started with auto apply, there are a couple of questions. There's a question from Alex. The question is, nice presentation. Is it possible to make another option? Like remind me in 6 months when we refuse one of them. I think what you're talking about is when you dismiss a recommendation, there should be an option which says, hey, remind me after 6 months of this recommendation. We have heard this before as well, specifically for budget recommendation where they say, hey, I I get it that these budget recommendations are really critical. I should apply them. However, our client hasn't approved them yet, and I think they'll be able to approve it only after a couple of quarters, after 6 months maybe. So is there a way that I can set it as a reminder and I get reminded after probably 6 months that hey, you need to increase your budget of your campaigns? Now it's way more complex than just that, right? Now what happens? Say the dynamics of market and the dynamics of user behavior will keep on changing, and based on those dynamics, the recommendation will also get impacted. Also, if you create a new campaign, if you add new keywords, if you add more assets, if you make changes to your bid strategy, a lot of these recommendations either becomes more valuable to you, not you can't wait for 6 months to apply them in those cases, or they may be being addressed through other recommendations within your recommendation tab. So setting a reminder for a recommendation is really not a great idea because those reminders, those recommendations changes every now and then with all the changes that you are making to your account, with all the dynamical changes that is happening in market, right? So there's no need to set a reminder. If there is a recommendation which you think is valid but you don't want to apply them now, leave it as is, right? You don't have to dismiss them, leave it there, right? And as long as they are valid for your account, they'll keep on surfacing. And if you want to apply them after 6 months, apply them after 6 months. If you want to apply them after 2 weeks, after a month, after 2 months, you can always go back to your recommendation tab and say, hey, this recommendation been there for some time. I've had a chat with my client. My client is okay. My client is ready. My business is ready now to apply this recommendation. And I think now would be the right time to apply it. And then you can go ahead and apply that recommendation in your account. So that would be more appropriate way of doing it instead of setting up a reminder. The reason being, as I said, the recommendations may or may not be valid after 6 months for your account. Yeah, but thanks, Alex, for asking that question. And that brings me back to this slide, right? I think Pavitra said earlier also there are exciting opportunities for you, all of you, to kind of get either to meet the PMs or join the PE community, and also there's an opportunity to win Google Swag, right? To do all that or to get a chance at all these opportunities, what you have to do is you have to one engage with us, how Alex did by asking us questions, asking us valid questions, sharing your product feedback by scanning QR code on the right side of your screen. I've also shared the link to the form in the chat. So in case you're not able to scan this QR code, you can simply click on the forms link, which is there in the chat. All right. And you can go to that form. It will not take more than a minute or two to share a feedback. And you can share your feedback about product, if there's any enhancement that you recommend, all right, if there's a change that you suggest should be made in how OptiScore recommendations and auto apply recommendation work, you can share those feedback as well. While sharing, make sure that you share your valid email ID and a proper CID that you manage, because that helps us map the relevant individuals, and then get back to you when it comes to shortlisting the winners and getting back to them, right? So make sure that you do that. You engage with us through comments, by sharing feedback. And as I said earlier, there are exciting opportunities waiting for you. With that said, let's quickly jump into the next segment for today's session, which is auto apply recommendations. Now, as most of you must have already used or heard about what auto apply recommendation does, auto apply recommendation is a way that you can automate a subset of those recommendations by automatically applying them to your account. So if you look at your Google Ads account and you go to recommendation tab, depending on how optimized your campaigns and how large your Google Ads account is, you can have as many as 100 plus recommendations. Those are all different best practices of Google Ads. If your campaigns are not following them, if there is a chance of improvement, those will be surfaced in your Google Ads account. So there can be as many as I said, 100 plus recommendations in a Google Ads account, across all the campaign types: search campaign, display campaign, or performance max campaign, or other campaigns. Those recommendations are valid for all of the campaigns, right? Now, of those 100 plus recommendations, there are some recommendations that are frequently applied, or there are such recommendations that you want to apply as soon as they surface in your account. So we got this feedback from a lot of practitioners, and they said, "Hey, if there is a recommendation that says that one of my ad group doesn't have an RSA, I don't want to wait to discover that recommendation. I want system to automatically go ahead and add an RSA on my behalf." Similarly, there are other recommendations as well. So make sure that those recommendations are applied automatically as and when they surface in my account. So we came up with this idea of auto apply recommendations. So progression, if you look at it, if you go 5 years or 6 years, if you look at how Google Ads accounts were managed 5 or 6 years ago, and you have to optimize, back then you had to optimize your account by manually looking into each and every campaign, each and every ad group, identify the issues, fix them. If there's a keyword group which is not properly structured, you have to manually do it. If there are keywords in exact match and you intended them to be in broad match, you manually have to fix them. If there are assets which is not properly created, you had to manually discover such assets and fix them. And then came recommendations, which is a step forward towards automating and giving you all those recommendations under one umbrella. So recommendations brought all these opportunities, all these best practices under one tab of Google Ads account. Now you can go to Google Ads, click on recommendations, and all such gaps in your account and campaign and ad group structure will be highlighted under one tab, right? And with auto apply recommendation, we went a step further and said, hey, some of these recommendations are super critical for your account, and you may want to apply them as soon as they surface. So what about you auto apply them? So that's precisely what auto apply recommendation is. It allows you to automatically apply a subset of recommendations to your accounts, to your campaigns, to your ad groups, as and when they surface under recommendations tab. Now, what benefits do you get? Why do you need to use auto apply? Why should an advertiser or an agency practitioner opt into auto apply? Now, see, auto apply is a vehicle to automatically get the most out of Google Ads. Understand, the recommendations are a way to identify gaps in your account, in your campaigns and ad groups, fix them. With auto apply, what you're doing now is you're automatically fixing those issues. In return, what you get is you have a lot of time that you save, right? Because those recommendations are now being automatically applied, so you have more time to yourself, which you can use for other wisely initiatives, other strategic initiatives. You can probably plan your next campaign. You can probably plan expansion to a new market. You can probably plan how you can get to the next level in your account campaign performance. So you can focus on strategic initiatives while allowing automated solution to take care of basic optimizations, right? So that's one benefit, which is it saves a lot of time, which can be used for other wisely initiatives. Second, some of these recommendations are super critical because you're not utilizing Google Ads to its full potential. So you opt into them and you are able to capture all the existing demand, which your current account or campaign setting might not be able to do. So by opting into auto apply, you are also capturing those existing demand, which is left out otherwise on the table. The third, there are also some recommendations, especially around bidding and budgets and targeting, which drives growth opportunities to your account, to your campaign. So if you are someone who is stuck and not sure how to go to next level, you've been getting constantly probably say 100 leads a day, and you want to get to the next level, you want to go from 100 to 150 leads or 120 leads, but you're not sure how you will be able to get there. Some of these auto apply recommendation will actually help you do that, right? By automating your bidding strategy, by ensuring that you're opting into most optimal bid strategy and going to that next level of driving growth opportunities to your account, to your campaigns. So those are the basic benefits that you get by opting into auto apply. Now, the benefits that an agency have, so those are the benefits that advertisers, agency, everyone drives, right? Whoever is managing an account will be able to drive. Now, what's there for an agency to get from these auto apply recommendations, right? Now, when you opt into auto apply as an agency owner, or as a manager at an agency, what you are able to do is, one, you are able to scale best practices. So you can have some practitioners who are really good at Google Ads. They are seasoned practitioners. They know the best practices. They are using best practices across all the campaigns and across all the accounts that they manage. But then there'll always be some rookie, advertising agents in your agency who might not be as well versed with all the best practices of Google Ads. So when you opt into auto apply, what you're doing is that you're now adopting into best practices at scale. You're opting into best practices across MCC, across all the accounts that you manage. FYI, the auto apply can also be opted in at MCC level. So you can opt either at account level or your merchant center, or rather master client account level, right? So you can opt into um, auto apply recommendations at account or MCC level, and that way you're able to drive best practices across all the accounts that your agency manages, right? So that's one benefit for agency. The other is that you also have better performance. Now, obviously, these auto apply recommendations are there to find gaps and opportunities of improvement. And when you act upon those opportunities, you are set to have better performance from your campaigns. So by opting into auto apply, what you're doing in return is you're improving your performance. And with improved performance, what you have is better retention of your clients. And that's been one of the pain points for a lot of agencies, which is the churn of clients or churn of customers is pretty high. To save that, or to reduce churn rate of your agency or your client partners, what you can do is you can opt into auto apply, improve performance, and have better performance driven for your clients, and in return have lesser churn of client. So that's another benefit that agencies get by adopting into auto apply. Now, the last but not the least is boost efficiency. Now, obviously, since it's an auto apply, and since you're applying these best practices automatically, what you have is a more efficient way of managing and optimizing campaigns. So that way, you're able to not only scale best practices, but you're able to do that at a better efficiency as well, with almost minimal or zero human input, right, in terms of adopting into those best practices. So you are able to drive scaled best practices with a more efficient way, which is auto apply recommendations. So those are the benefits that agencies get by adopting into auto apply recommendation. Now, one of the questions that we get frequently is, hey, as an agency, why should we care about AI, right? FYI, these auto apply recommendations and recommendations, they are all based on Google's AI, and it uses machine learning in order to adopt, learn from the data of your campaign performance, and give you better recommendations with time. So if you have a new account, you see some recommendations, the quality of those recommendations will keep on improving because it is based on AI. So the more the data the campaign gather, the better quality of recommendation will continue to be. Now, a question that we get from agency partners is, hey, why should we as an agency care about AI? What's there for us, right? Now, first of all, you need to understand that 93% of brands in a survey said we value our critical partners, which is agencies, and we want them to be embedded with a range of MarTech over the next 3 years. And if they're not enabled with the MarTech tools, if they're not adopting into advanced technology, we have to reconsider our partnerships. So that's 93% is a staggering figure. Almost all the clients, almost all the brands of the world are actually thinking about their agency partners, and they want their agency partners to be compatible with advancements in technology, right? So that's definitely more than a reason to actually adopt into AI based solution. But there are other benefits as well. For example, there is a commercial impact of it, right? Now, AI can drive better performance, right? Because it's able to use those millions of signals which otherwise humans cannot be able to use, right? And with those millions of signals, it gives you appropriate recommendations and it adopt into or it opts into exact recommendations that have potential to drive better goals for you, right? Now, when you have better goal, what you have is a content client. I did touch upon this in the previous slide as well, which is when you start driving goals more frequently, your clients are more happy. And when you have more clients which are more happy with the results, they usually spend more as well. And when they spend more, they also refer more clients to you. And that's the commercial impact that you get, which is your clients are more happy, they're spending more, they're referring more clients, and you have more business now for your agency as compared to before adopting into it. So there's obviously a commercial impact of adopting into AI, but there's also something called market perception. Now, the advertising agency is in middle of a huge transformation with all the martech and ad tech tools, being utilized and being used across the industries. Right now, as I said, 93% of brands see that their agency partners must be enabling martech tools, right? And that tells you that there is a need for transformation. There is a need that you adopt into AI in order to be perceived as someone who is a market leader, in order to be perceived as someone who is adopting into market enhancement or technology enhancement. So to make sure that your market perception is of an adopter and not someone who's pushing back against advancement, it's critical that you adopt into AI, right? So that's another reason, which is market perception. Then you also have to be better prepared for what's next. Now, it's evident that AI based solutions and AI based technology is going to play a major role in how marketing campaigns works in future. So if you are someone who is already adopting into it, if you are someone who's a initial starter, you will always have an upper hand. You will always have the early starter benefit, right? And to take that benefit, it's better that you prepare yourself. It's better that you adopt into it from now itself so that you are better prepared for what's next. Your client satisfaction also goes high, and in return you are able to retain more clients. At the same time, you're also able to have better career development for your employees, and in return your employee retention will also go higher. So those are few benefits that you get by adopting into AI based solution. One of them is Google AI based auto apply recommendations and OptiScore recommendation in Google Ads account. Now, if you go to your Google Ads account and you look at the UI, this is how you can navigate to auto apply. You click on recommendations tab on the left side menu, and on the top right corner, you have a thing called auto apply icon. You click on auto apply icon, and that brings a list of all those 23 recommendations which are currently eligible for auto applying, right? As I said, auto apply is a subset of all the recommendations. So all these 23 recommendations can other way be manually applied as well through recommendations tab. But when you auto apply, they will automatically be applied and hence save you time. Now, navigation, as I said, is pretty simple. You have to go to your Google Ads account, go to recommendations tab, and click on auto apply icon at the top right corner of your screen. And that will bring the list of 23 recommendations with a checkbox against each recommendations to adopt into. You can opt in to apply a subset of these recommendations, or you can opt into all of those recommendations. You are always in full control of opting out as well. And through change history, you will always be able to see all the changes that was done to your account or your campaign as a result of opting into auto apply. So you also have 100% transparency of all the changes that is happening in your account, in your campaigns as a result of adopting into auto apply recommendation. Now, the obvious question that you will have is what can I automate and how do I choose what to automate, right? What all should I as a business owner or I as someone who manages a set of accounts at my agency, should I opt into? What is there for me to automate, right? And we'll try to address that in the coming few slides. Now, remember, I said there are currently 23 recommendations that can be adopted into for auto apply. Now, what auto apply does is it tries to balance between growth, efficiency, and repair recommendations. So, of those 100 plus recommendations in your Google Ads account, there are some of those which are around growth opportunities. There are some that is to drive efficiency, and there are some recommendations that helps you drive repair. With auto apply, we try to balance between those three things, right? Now, all these recommendations are currently put in two different buckets. You have a bucket called maintain your ads, right? These are hygiene recommendations. They are fundamental and they drive efficiency to your account, to your campaign, and to your ad group management. So maintain your ads recommendations are hygiene recommendations. They are there to drive efficiency. On the other hand, you have grow your business bucket. Under grow your business bucket, you currently have 14 different recommendations, and these recommendations are more strategic in nature. They are there to drive strategic initiatives. They're there to drive growth opportunities for your account and campaign performance. Let's take some example. If you look at maintain your ads, you have recommendations like remove non-serving keywords. So if there is an ad group that has some of the keywords which has never served, which has no performance history at all, there are no cases in which it was clicked, those keywords will be removed. Now, obviously, this is not driving any growth opportunities to your account and campaign performance. However, this is trying to solve for an efficiency issue in your ad group management, right? So if your ad group have, say, tens of thousands of keywords, and majority of those keywords are not non-performing, they never have any performance history in the last 13 months of time, in those and removing those keywords from those ad groups will unclutter your ad group and make it easy to manage. So hygiene recommendations are there to drive efficiency. Similarly, if I talk about, say, optimize ad rotation, or if I talk about keyword deduping, or for that matter, if I talk about ad RSAs, those are all there for efficiency management. They help you drive efficiency to your ad group, to your campaign management, right? And they are hygiene recommendation, and they are currently put under a bucket called maintain your ads. Now, on the other hand, if you look at grow your business recommendations, as I said, those are more strategic in nature and they drive growth opportunities. For example, you have target CPA opt in. So when you opt into target CPA, you're allowing Google to set a campaign on target CPA as soon as it is eligible to be put on target CPA. And that way you're driving growth opportunities. You're allowing system to drive more acquisition. You're driving more acquisition to your campaigns and to your ad groups, right? So and similarly, you have other bidding strategy in that group. You have maximize clicks, you have set ROAS target, there's set CPA target. So all these recommendations in the second bucket is strategic in nature, and they drive growth opportunities. So depending on your priorities, if your priority is to fix hygiene first, what we'll recommend you to opt into is the first bucket of recommendation, which is maintain your ads. So adopt into those recommendations, start improving the efficiency of your campaign management, your ad group management, and eventually when you are comfortable with auto apply recommendation, you can start adopting into grow your business recommendations as well. But if you're someone who is looking for growth opportunities, if your campaign's been stuck, you have been getting consistent performance, however, there's no growth that you are able to drive, in that case, we recommend you to adopt into second bucket of recommendations as well, which drives those growth opportunities. It allows you to improve the campaign coverage. It allows you to improve or increase the volume of conversion, the value of conversions, and also making sure if you're looking for other or adding more new keywords, all those recommendations are part of grow your business and they help you drive those growth opportunities. So that's one way of identifying what to automate, what to opt into, right? Now, if you look at maintain your ads bucket, which is hygiene recommendation and there to drive efficiency, it primarily have three objectives. One, to save time for you, right? Because you're automating those processes. And it also helps you adopt into best practices, right? Because these are all best practices of Google Ads. So if you opt into them, you're able to follow best practices at scale across all the campaigns, across all the accounts that you manage under an MCC. It also helps you drive impact, which is if you're opting into these fundamental recommendations, in return, what you get is an increased ad quality, and also improved search excellence. And when you have improved search excellence and a better ad quality, you get better performance as well. So opting into these maintain your ads recommendation will not only save time and will not only help you adopt into best practices, but at the same time will also drive impact enhancement across your campaigns as well. Now, if I talk about grow your business bucket, which is the other bucket of recommendation, which are more strategic in nature, they, however, have slightly different impact. One, it helps you focus on profitability. As I said, most of the recommendation under grow your business is towards targeting and towards bidding strategies. When you opt into those recommendations, you're able to focus on profitability and you're able to drive better profit for your business and for your client, right? It also helps you drive or capture opportunities more effectively, because maybe there are some recommendations, there are some bidding strategy which is restricting your campaign performance. And by adopting into grow your business recommendation, you are able to capture those opportunities more effectively as well. There's also an impact angle to it, which is obviously since you're opting into advanced bidding strategies, since you're opting into adding more keywords or changing or adding, enhancing your ads and your targeting. In return, what you get is a better performance and a better impact of your campaign overall. So those are the benefits that you get by grow your business recommendations. Now, the next question in the next segment is very critical, and this is very exciting. Since we're talking about this, because you may come back to us and say, "Hey, look, we have a specific marketing objective for this particular account. Our objective is to drive or generate leads. What all recommendations should we opt into?" So, what we have done in next few slides is we have tried to give you a list or a checklist rather of recommendations that you should opt into based on the marketing objective that those account vouch for. So if you have an account which is primarily focused on generating leads, in that account, the list of recommendations or rather auto apply recommendation that you should opt into is listed down here. So maintain your ads is universal. You can opt into these recommendations irrespective of marketing objective. However, grow your business recommendation list changes. Now, since this account is there to generate leads, you may or may not have dynamic conversion value for your conversions, right? Or you may have a single conversion value assigned to probably all the lead gens that you are doing in your account. And hence, if you look at the second bucket, which is grow your business recommendation, the recommendations are towards CPA. So first recommendation itself says target CPA opt in. So it suggests you to opt into target CPA. Now, one of the misconceptions that we have around is that, hey, if I opt into target CPA opt in, does it mean all my campaigns will suddenly go to target CPA? Untrue. That's not how it works. When you opt into target CPA opt in, what you do is you say, hey, system, if tomorrow there's an opportunity for any of my campaign to get benefit by adopting into target CPA, I'm giving you that permission to opt into target CPA for that campaign, but only for that campaign, right? So opting into auto apply doesn't magically make changes to all your campaigns in a single click, right? It waits for recommendations to surface and to be valid, and then it applies them in your account and your campaigns, right? So if you look at grow your business for lead gen, as you can clearly see, most of the recommendations are around CPA, because this is where you want to improve your cost per acquisition, right? And you're not really concerned about ROAS, because ROAS is calculated only when you have dynamic values assigned to multiple conversion actions, or when you have good number of conversion actions with varieties of product or varieties of merchant to offer, right? So if you're driving lead gen campaigns in that account, the list of grow your business recommendation that we suggest you to opt into is target CPA opt-in, maximize conversions. Then you have set CPA target as just CPA target, maximize conversion value. You can choose to opt into as well. And then there's store visit as default goal, keywords, add broad match keywords, and display expansion on search campaign. So those are the grow your business recommendation that we suggest you to opt into. for lead gen campaigns or an account which is primarily focused on lead gen. Now, before you do that, what you also have to ensure is that you check that your conversion actions are set up properly. Because if your conversion actions are not set properly, your CPAs will not work as well, right? Because since you're opting into cost per acquisition, everything is around the conversion actions that you're tracking in your account. And if your conversion action are not being properly tracked and managed, your campaigns may see, a problem with its performance since you're opting into CPA, but your acquisitions are not properly tracked. So make sure that your conversion actions are set up properly based on your business goals. Also, make sure that you're using offline conversion import when it comes to any offline conversion that happens in your business, and you're passing on those conversion values through offline conversion tracking system of Google Ads. Now, what if your objective is to grow online or offline sales? If you're selling products online, or if your client is selling product offline or online or omni-channel, in those cases, the set of recommendations in grow your business bucket may change. Again, as I said, maintain your ads recommendations are universal. You can opt into all of them for irrespective of marketing objective in your account and campaigns, right? But grow your business recommendation, if you look closely on this one, is mostly around ROAS, right? So you have maximize conversion value, right? Then you have target ROAS opt-in, you have set ROAS target, adjust ROAS target, and everything else is same. So precisely the difference that you have between lead gen accounts and grow online or offline sales accounts is that in lead gen campaigns, the appropriate recommended grow your business recommendations are those around CPA, target CPA, setting target CPA, opting into target CPA, adjusting CPA target, and so on and so forth. In case of grow online and offline sales, however, the recommendations that we suggest you to opt into around bidding is of ROAS. So target ROAS opt-in, setting a target ROAS, adjusting target ROAS, and all other recommendations around maximize conversion value as well. So that's the major difference between these two marketing objective and the set of recommendations that we suggest you to opt into. Now, how you can identify the strategic recommendation that are best fit for you, right? Now, whenever you opt into smart bidding recommendation, which means whenever you opt into any CPA or ROAS bidding strategy or maximize conversion value or maximize conversion bidding strategy, make sure that you're clubbing them with proper keyword and coverage recommendations as well. Now, this goes vice versa as well, which is whenever you plan to opt into adding broad match or adding new keywords, make sure that you club them with smart bidding. So smart bidding will work as a safety net, and it will ensure that even though you are targeting broad keywords, you're only targeting relevant broad keywords for your campaign, right? So whenever you plan to opt in to add keywords or add broad match keywords, make sure that you already have smart bidding recommendations opted in, which is around maximizing conversions, maximizing conversion value, or TROAS and TCPA, right? So opt into those recommendations to provide a safety net for any incremental um, keyword coverage. Now, why you should leverage the auto apply for smart bidding opt-in? This is very obvious because one, it helps you improve performance and you have optimized performance after adopting into smart bidding for auto apply. You also are future proofing yourself. So if in case there is any changes that happens in future, if your campaign or your product has sudden spike in searches, your campaign is set to take advantage of those automated opt-ins, and it will automatically make adjustments in order to take care of those changes in market dynamics. You also have a competitive advantage by adopting into a smart bidding auto apply. Now, as I said, the reason that you have to adopt into smart bidding target adjustments as well. And when I say smart bidding target adjustments, I'm talking about precisely two target adjustments: target CPA adjustment and target ROAS adjustments. Now, when you opt into those two, they respond to real time changes. So if there is any change that is occurring, and because of which you should have or probably a lower ROAS, a less aggressive ROAS in your campaign, or or probably a higher CPA, because you want to capture incremental searches and incremental demand. Those adjustments can be automatically made in your account and your campaigns, and your campaign will be able to drive those incremental opportunities as well. And hence, it's critical that you opt into auto apply for smart bidding as well. And then you have obviously add broad match and add new keywords, which goes hand in hands with smart bidding recommendations. So if you're adopting into smart bidding, it's safe that you adopt into broad match keywords and new keywords as well, because they'll take advantage of real time signals in order to ensure that your coverage is higher and you are able to cover all the relevant searches that your product is qualified for. Now, there are some best practices that helps you get the most out of your auto apply recommendations. And what we have done is we have listed down those best practices on this slide. I'll talk about them one by one. The first one is make sure that you review your measurement and privacy recommendations frequently. Now, because of your measurement infrastructure, and since a lot of these auto apply recommendation deals with with auto applying the smart bidding recommendations, which are 100% dependent on your measurement infrastructure. So your tracking of conversion actions, your tracking of conversion values is super critical for your success, right? So review your measurement frequently to see that you are capturing your conversion actions properly and you're assigning appropriate values to your conversion actions as well. Also, make sure that you're reviewing your privacy recommendations in your Google Ads account as well, because sometimes those privacy recommendations may impact how your tracking or how your measurement works. The next one is check that your conversion actions are set up properly. I think I did briefly touch upon this earlier also, which is your conversion actions must be set up properly. There are cases where, because of not a proper tag or not properly setting up tags on website, you may be counting one conversion for two times, or probably your conversions are not being tagged at all or not being tracked at all. And those can be problematic for Google Ads to optimize your campaign, right? So if you want your campaign to be properly optimized and take advantage of your conversion actions and conversion values properly, make sure that your conversion actions are set up properly. Review your conversion actions, if not every week, at least once in a month, and make changes in order to ensure your conversion actions are being properly tracked. Ensure that your brand campaigns are using an optimal bidding strategy. Now, a lot of time we get to hear from our partners that, hey, if I opt into recommendations similar to, say, add broad match or add new keywords, those will add tons of keywords into my branded key campaign, which is only for brand keywords. Or if I opt into target CPA, or if I opt into target ROAS, those will make changes to my brand campaign where I don't want to opt into those bidding strategies because those are brand campaigns. Now, the solution to that is that all of your branding campaigns must be put on target impression share, right? So if your brand campaigns are using target impression share as a bidding strategy, Google understand that these are brand campaigns, and the system will not make any such changes which is not um, compatible and which is not relevant for a brand campaign. For example, it will not add more keywords to your brand campaign. It will not make changes to your keyword match type. It will not adopt into any smart bidding for that campaign if it's already put on target impression share. So all such recommendations which are not compatible for a brand campaign will not be opted in if your campaign is already using target impression share. So make sure that all your brand campaigns are utilizing the target impression share in order to avoid getting impacted by other auto apply recommendations. The next one is set accurate conversion values. So a lot of time we either inflate our conversion values or we set a very low conversion value to our conversion actions, which is not which is not a best practice. So make sure that all your conversion actions have a relevant conversion values assigned, so that you are able to optimize for conversion value whenever you opt into target ROAS or maximize conversion value bidding strategy. So if you have multiple conversion actions and they have different values, set those values accordingly. in order to allow system to understand which conversion actions have how much of value, and accordingly try to get you more conversion actions fulfilled which has a greater value assigned to it. And the last but definitely not the least is set optimal budgets and review budget recommendations frequently. Now, what happens is a lot of people come back to us and say, hey, most of the recommendation that we receive in our account is of budget recommendation. It asks me to either increase the budget or move unused budget from one campaign to other. So why is that happening? The reason is very plain and simple, because we don't plan our budget properly, right? So whenever you create a new campaign, take advantage of tools within Google Ads, for example, demand forecast, for example, performance planner, and so on and so forth, in order to plan optimal budget for all of your campaign. Also review those recommendations around budget, which allows you to fix any changes or any challenges that your existing campaign may have because of budget, and fix those challenges in order to in order to allow your campaign to flourish and take advantage of its full potential, right? Now, what do we expect next after this session, or what you should do after this session? Now, what we suggest you to do is go back to your Google Ads account, right? And visit recommendation page frequently. Look at your recommendations page at least once every day. If not able to do once every day, make sure that you plan to do it alternate days or at least 2 times in a week, right? Look at all the recommendations, filter out the ones which is relevant for you or something which you want to apply right away. Apply them. If there is any recommendation that needs you to go back to your client, go back to your management, have a discussion, and then come back and apply, plan to have those discussions in order to apply those recommendations in your campaign as well, right? So that's the first step that we suggest you to do after this call. The next is, if you identify any such recommendations that you think you have to apply every time they surface, see if there is an auto apply available for that recommendations or not, right? If there is an auto apply available, go ahead and choose auto apply for such recommendations. Now, the third step would be identifying those non-performing ad assets and optimizing them for best results. If there's any ad assets in your campaign, in your account, which is not performing right now, or because of either having a low or poor ad strength, or because of keyword coverage not being enough, fix upon those challenges and improve your performance through those assets, right? And then review your optimization score regularly in order to see if there is an improvement in your optimization score or not, if your campaigns are now more optimized or not, if your account is now more optimized or not. FYI, the Opti score or optimization score is now available at campaign level as well. So you can check campaign level optimization score, and you can also check your account level optimization score. So while your goal should be to improve account level optimization score, if you plan to do it one campaign at a time, you can do that as well. If you have say 10 campaigns or 15 campaigns, you can start working on the campaigns that has a probably highest potential of improvement and fixing them and bringing them closer to 100% of optimization score, and regularly monitor your optimization score in order to see the impact that it has on your overall campaign and account performance. With that said, we have come to the conclusive slide. I thank you all for giving us your time, staying with us for this long, and going through the slides. I hope these were helpful. There is a feedback form that we have. You can point your camera, your phone camera, to the QR code that you see on your screen, and you scan this, and you go to this slide or a form that gives you an option to provide feedback. I'll suggest and I'll recommend you all to please scan this code, this QR code, and share your valuable feedback with us so that we can, come back to you in the next session, probably with more information and share more detail about how OptiScore and Auto Apply can be utilized. It was lovely having you all. I'll hold on to this slide for 10 more seconds before we end our stream. Thank you so much for joining in.